Really pumped up. We're looking good going into the second round.
Returning here after a near-fatal crash is Shirley Muldowney.
I think my reaction time should be better. I'm trying hard, but I don't know yet.
It's all coming to you from Sanair International Dragway in the province of Quebec, Canada. This is the Molson NHRA Grand National on the Superchargers.
The Superchargers National Championship and Unique Motorsports. Sponsored by your neighborhood True Value hardware stores. We've got what it takes. And by Gold Eagle, makers of fine automotive products, including new Quantum.
And welcome to the Superchargers. Today it's the NHRA Grand National from Sanair International Speedway. We're about 60 miles east of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and you are about to see world-class top-field dragster competition. Hi everyone, I'm Jan Gabriel. Joining me on the broadcast today is Dan Pastorini, former quarterback for the Houston Oilers and now a top-field driver himself. You won a national earlier this year.
We were very fortunate, Jan. We won the Southern Nationals. It was our first national event win, and we were very proud of it.
Here at Sanair, we are in a rain delay, but that is not the story. Darrell Gwynn. Darrell Gwynn, in his second year, won his first national earlier this year. He is the top qualifier. He is not the story.
That's true. Darrell won the Winter Nationals this year. He had 4 consecutive 540 runs in that competition. I don't think that's ever been done before. Since then, he's had his problems, but they seem to have him straightened out very nicely here.
Dick LaHaye is also here. He's the second fast qualifier. Again, he's not the story.
No, he's not.
Don Garlett's third fast qualifier, and he has run very fast here. He is not the story.
I think our fourth qualifier has the story. She's definitely the sentimental favorite here. Yesterday during qualifying, Shirley was greeted with a nice standing ovation, and she's definitely the story.
There's no question about it. Shirley Muldowney came here 2 years ago, crashed badly in the left lane. She was on the men for 2 years. She is back here now, and indeed, the sentimental favorite. With her now, and joining us on the broadcast, is Steve Evans.
Quite a homecoming to the province of Quebec. They love you here.
We're flattered. We really are. The reception yesterday when we went up for the first qualifying attempt was...
They stood in mass.
Yeah, they really did. We had to stop, think about the job we were doing.
Is it difficult a little bit, though? Do you go through that accident again as you go down this very racetrack?
I tried not to think about it, Steve, and we just looked at a tape, the first tape we've ever seen of the actual, the actual footage, what the car did, and we learned a lot. We wish we had seen that tape 2 years ago, but it's history. We have to put it out of our mind. The sport grew from that. I think we're all better for it, and now it's a new day. We're going to go on and try to get to the winner's circle today.
Shirley Muldowney has indeed had a very warm reception here in the French-speaking province of Quebec. We're here at Sanair International Drag Strip in St. Pete, Canada for the Molson Grand National. And the rains have subsided from what was really a torrential downpour of about an hour ago. And Dan Pastorini, right now, let's take a look at our 8 quarterfinalists.
Well, Jan, I've raced against all of them, and I'll tell you, this is a very strong field of the best in the world.
And right now, we're going to begin with the reigning world champion, Don Garlitz.
Big Daddy, or Large Papa, as they call him up here in Canada, is definitely the one to beat.
Garlitz will take on the likes of Gene Snow.
Gene has 8, and he's looking for number 9. He's always a tough competitor.
That's Gene Snow. Your next pair include Darrell Gwynn.
Darrell Gwynn is a low qualifier here, but on race day, that doesn't mean a thing.
Gwynn will take on the former world champion, Joe Amato.
Well, Joe's finished second this year too many times. He's looking for number 1.
One of the quick qualifiers here this afternoon, one of the top 3 is Dick LaHaye.
Dick LaHaye's always a tough competitor, and he's a low-dollar operation, too.
LaHaye runs Connie Coletta hot off his win at the Spring Nationals.
Connie's been coming on real strong the past couple weeks.
The final pair includes Hank Andres.
Hank is with Carrie's Diesel, and their car has really been picking up quite well this last couple weeks.
And he will take on the return of Shirley Muldowney.
Well, she's the sentimental favorite here, and you can't help but like Shirley.
So there you have it, the 8 in the quarterfinals. So as we go to the line, it's Don Garlitz, and he finds himself in lane number 1. In these quarterfinals, Garlitz looks strong.
Don's running a new engine, Jan, but he seems to have a handle on it.
And he's also just fractions off of Darrell Gwynn's ET.
Yeah, I think he's a 43 with a 2. I'm a 43 with a 6. I'd win or lose a race, though. That's close enough, you know.
Don Garlits with a smile on his face.
Well, he's got a lot to be happy for. He ran real well that first round.
Here's Gene Snow now, tough Texan, 48 years of age. He can get the job done here today.
Gene can definitely get the job done. We had him in the finals at Commerce, Georgia, and he's a very competitive racer.
Earlier, he told us he had some problems yesterday.
The car was hurt just a tiny bit. I think it's going to be able to run quicker and feel real good about today.
Gene Snow also appearing very confident here this afternoon. It's Don Garlits in lane number 1, the left lane. In the right lane is Gene Snow. Dan Pastorini, any difference in the lanes?
I don't think so. After the rain, I think they're both pretty equal.
All right, they are staged and underway. Garlits now gets away from Gene Snow a little bit at the midway point, and Garlits is going to pull him through the traps by about 2 car lengths. For Don Garlits, the ET, a 5.47, a speed of 263.77 miles per hour, and that will put Don Garlits in the semis a little bit later on.
That was a good race. Gene had him a little bit out of the hole, but Don drove by him on the big end and won the race.
Readying themselves on the line now is Darrell Gwynn, the 24-year-old sensation, along with Joe Amato, the former world champion. Right now, let's go to Steve Evans.
Well, for Don Garlits, it's a stunning second-round victory over Gene Snow, a 5:47, Don.
Good. That's good. As long as we're staying there steady. What was the speed?
Speed fell off a little bit, 264.
Okay.
What would cause that?
We richened it considerably to keep it from burning it up like it did the last run.
Okay, good job.
Thank you.
Don Garlits looking for that all-important consistency. Now, here's a guy who can run consistent. This is Darrell Gwynn.
Well, consistency is the name of the game, and this kid has been running real consistent numbers. He ran a 5:43 against us in the first round, and he's definitely the car to beat right now.
Here is Joe Amato, the former world champion. He can win here as well.
Well, if anybody's capable of beating the kid, Joe Amato is definitely the man. He's got a very strong running car, and it should be a real close race.
Well, we got to race Joe Amato, and he's due for a big win, but on the other hand, so is our team, and it's going to be a real battle.
Darrell Gwynn may be concerned about this run a little bit.
Well, he won one event last year, and he won the Winter Nationals this year.
Here's Joe Amato now. He's ready to go. Amato's looking for a little more speed out of the car.
Hopefully we can pick up another 10, because there was room there for improvement, and we'll just have to go out there and try and give it our best shot as far as dial in the horsepower and hope the track will take it, and we'll have to, if he's going to win, he's going to have to beat us, basically.
Darrell Gwynn in the far lane, Joe Amato in the near lane. Dan Pastorini, how busy are they right now?
Right now, they're checking out their oil pressure and their water temperature and just watching the other guy and seeing when he's going to stage.
All right, they are staged at this very moment and underway. Amato gets a little lift off of the car, but they are side by side as they hit the midway point and onto the finish line. And it looks like it's going to be Darrell Gwynn in lane number 1. Gwynn with an ET of 5:51, a speed of 260.11 miles per hour. So it'll be Darrell Gwynn who takes on Big Daddy Don Garlits in the semifinals. Back to the line now. Dick LaHaye ready to go. LaHaye will take on Connie Coletta.
Amato said if there'd have been 50 more feet of the track, you wouldn't have got around him.
No, there wasn't. He was ahead of me in the middle of the track, and I just did nose by him. I tell you, it was really close. I really couldn't tell who won because of the speeds. We were really going good.
A 5:51 for your car.
Well, we fell off a little bit, but we kind of left things alone where we maybe should have hopped it up, but we'll have to see against Big Daddy.
Dick LaHaye up next. He is ready to make thunder. He's a 44-year-old veteran from Lansing, Michigan.
Dick is an unsponsored professional, and he's capable of running low ET anywhere he goes.
Here's Connie Coletta. Coletta's on a roll right now. He won 2 weeks ago.
That's true. He won at Columbus, Ohio at the Spring Nationals, and his car is a strong runner also.
Dick LaHaye has notched 2 career nationals to his credit. We asked him earlier what he thought of Connie Coletta.
And he's a plenty tough customer. We're just going to give it our best shot. We're going to tune it up a little bit. We run pretty well that first round, and we think we can run better yet.
Dick LaHaye will face a very strong Connie Coletta. Coletta, another Michigander, has just earned his 7th career triumph in the Spring Nationals. Connie Coletta is more concerned about the start here. He knows it's important.
I think a lot of it depends on it, the way the clutch is set up on the thing. We're trying to doctor this thing here a little bit. We're getting in some tire shake, and if I could eliminate it, I'm scared of the tire shake because the level shake the tires loose, and then the race is all over.
2 very strong competitors ready to have at it. Quick question, Dan Pastorini. It rained earlier. Does it hurt the racetrack?
Sometimes it can, Jan. It'll wash the residue away and lose traction. Other times it can improve traction. We'll have to wait and see.
Dick LaHaye in the far lane. Connie Coletta closest to you now. Both staged and ready to go. Let's watch them on the line. Coletta gets off, and it's Dick LaHaye now who is putting the pressure on at the midway point. It's LaHaye going away at the finish line. Dick LaHaye wins it with an ET of 5.43, and that's a quick one, and a speed of 257.58 miles per hour.
Well, a 5:43 with a 1, Jan. Obviously, the track conditions out there were better. Dick LaHaye, as I said earlier, is capable of running low ETs. He now has the low ET of the meet.
As Hank Andres and Shirley Muldowney get ready, let's go to Steve Evans.
Congratulations. That's about as quick as you've ever run, isn't it?
No, I run 40 flat at Pomona for low ET there, which is actually the second quickest run in the history of the sport. And we've been trying to sort this new car out, and it's finally starting to come around.
Boy, I'll say, any worries down track at all in that race?
No, it was just nice and smooth, and I knew it run good, but I wasn't sure how good.
For a guy who races for the money to live on, really, this is an important win for you.
Oh, it most certainly is. We need to win this race.
The crowd certainly giving a nice ovation here to Shirley Muldowney as she is ready to go here in the semifinals.
I'll tell you, everybody in the stands wants to see Shirley do real well here. They're all pulling for her.
Now she's taking on Hank Andres. A lot of folks don't know a lot about Hank.
Hank drives for John Kerry's Diesel. They have a car that's been running pretty consistent numbers this year.
All right, Shirley Muldowney fired up, ready to go. We asked her earlier if everything was back to normal.
Yeah, we feel good. The car's reacting the way we want it to. We're still cleaning up the system. I think my reaction time should be better. I'm trying hard, but I don't know yet.
Back to the line, Shirley Muldowney ready to go, as is Hank Andres. He's from Pennsville, New Jersey.
And although he's unsponsored, Jan, he has qualified 4 out of 5 events this year.
So that speaks highly of him. Well, he'll be ready to go here. We asked him earlier about lane choice this afternoon. Didn't seem to matter to him.
I don't think so. Everybody seems to be running good in either lane, so I don't think it's that big an advantage today.
Hank Andres now concentrating down the drag strip. Takes a quick glance at Shirley Muldowney.
Well, Shirley is definitely the sentimental favorite here, Jan. Remember, she's on the comeback trail, and she's the only 3-time world champion.
Quick question. These cars have a tremendous vibration to them. How do they feel at this point? Do you feel the car as it moves to the line?
You feel the car. Everything is really sharpening up right now as far as your senses are concerned. The anticipation and everything is ready to go.
All eyes now concentrating on the tree. We watch it carefully. Both cars are staged, ready to go, and Shirley Muldowney inches away now. She is your leader at the midway point, and Muldowney goes up in a ball of fire. The car out of control, and she brings it back under control now. Shirley Muldowney bringing the car down to the shut-off area as the car screeches to a stop here. She has done a beautiful job on keeping it under control.
I'll tell you, Hank Andres did a fine job avoiding Shirley when she crossed over the center line, Jan. That is a terrible explosion, but she really did a heck of a job controlling that car.
That car was virtually sideways, on fire, in a ball of fire, and here is Shirley, who has brought the car down under control, and she is all right, and as luck would have it, she has won the race.
She was lucky in many ways here, Jan. Had she crossed the center line before the traps, she would have been disqualified.
Wait a minute. Let me do this.
You had to be thinking, oh, Lord, not again. Why me?
I know, but I figure I felt bad I was in his lane. I know Hank's a great driver, and I knew that he'd do a good job himself. Sorry.
Oh, Shirley Muldowney is okay. But what an incredible moment.
Shirley Muldowney is okay. The car is not.
It's going to be real difficult for her to make the semifinal round.
We'll find out when we return on the Superchargers. Superchargers from San Air International Dragway in the province of Quebec. I'm Jan Gabriel. Joining me on the broadcast today is Dan Pastorini. We're in the semifinals of the NHRA Molson Grandnational. And Dan, I'll tell you, I don't think we have a favorite right now.
That's true, Jan. 3 of the 4 semifinalists are all within 1/10 of a second of each other. Darrell Gwynn, low ET of the first round. Then Dick LaHaye, the second round, steps up to low ET of the meet. Then you've got Big Daddy, and then there's Shirley.
And speaking of Big Daddy Don Garlitz, 54 years old from Ocala, Florida. He could win. If he were to win here today, this would be his 3rd national already during this 1986 season. And take a look at this. This is Shirley Muldowney. She has presented her car at the staging area. We'll tell you more after this run. We are ready to go now. Darrell Gwynn on the near side. Don Garlitz on the far side. Let's watch him carefully. We notice now we got a little fuel coming out of Garlitz's car.
That could be a problem for Don. It could cost him some traction here.
All right, let's watch him now. Both cars are staged and ready to go. All eyes now on the cars. Garlits gets out, but it's Gwynn now who bolts out ahead. Both of them have spun the tires, but it's Gwynn who's going to win easy here. Here's the ET for Darrell Gwynn. It's 5.88 with a speed of 246.34 miles per hour. Not his most impressive effort, certainly, but he has beat Garlits in this round.
That's true. Garlits had some problem with his fuel leaking all over his tire at the starting line. Caused him traction problems right off. Darrell spun the tires also coming off the starting line, but he was able to recover and go on to win the race.
So Don Garlits, he is through for the afternoon, and it will be Darrell Gwynn that we'll see in the finals against either Shirley Muldowney or Dick LaHaye. Here's Steve Evans now with a very happy Darrell Gwynn.
Well, while we were busily covering the Shirley Muldowney saga, this young man, Darrell Gwynn, and his crew completely built a new motor from a short block, and it paid off.
I'm telling you, when we say built, we built the whole thing. We had to we changed motors and had the wrong rods and pistons in the other motor. We changed everything we could change. And it just seems as now the track's a little savvy right now. We just got to get that straightened out. I think if the weather holds out, we'll be okay.
Now, could you see what was going on over in Garlits Lane? It looked like he was throwing water or fuel or something on the tires out of the exhaust, and they were wiping the tires down, but apparently it worked for you.
Yeah, that's what my guys just said, but I wasn't aware of what's going on. I was driving my own race.
That's what you've got to do in this sport. See you in the final.
Thank you very much.
In fact, speaking of finals, let's go back to the starting line for Dick LaHaye and Shirley Muldowney.
So 24-year-old Darrell Gwynn will take on this man, Dick LaHaye, or possibly this woman, Shirley Muldowney, in the finals just a little bit later on. Luck prevails once again for Shirley Muldowney. A small rain delay gave her enough time to put the car back together after it went up in a ball of fire during the running of the quarterfinals. Good luck for Shirley Muldowney.
That's true, Jan. I'm sure that Dick LaHaye viewed the clouds over his head a little differently than Shirley Muldowney did. It was a blessing for Shirley. She was able to get more time to put her car back together.
Let's take a look. Let's go back right now. Here's what happened. Even spectators got involved. Everybody grabbed that engine that had exploded, pulled it out of the car. There you see Ron Tobler working very hard inside the van, trying to get parts of the engine back together.
Here they're cleaning up the rear of the chassis to prepare it for the motor to be installed. Sid Waterman here putting the final touches onto the fuel system, getting the motor ready.
So there was quite a group of folks who just sort of pitched in and helped out.
It certainly was. It was a fan effort, a team effort. Everyone wanted to see Shirley come back and run the semifinal round.
You just saw the spectators putting the engine back in the car. You see the engine firing now just to make sure that everything is all right.
That's true. They have to make sure that there are no leaks, no oil leaks, no water leaks. Get ready for the race.
The fans loved it, and Steve Evans was right there.
Not a sweeter sound in the world to a person like yourself, some 3,000 horsepower. How about this crowd, huh?
They're wonderful, but they're even better,
Oh, boy.
Steve. They're like magicians.
And a lot of guys pitched in from Connie Coletta's crew and Sid Waterman. Everybody was here.
Everybody came over and helped us. We really needed it, too. I did not think this was going to happen.
Shirley didn't think it was possible. It is, and she is on the line, ready to take on Dick LaHaye. If she could win this, it would culminate what would be an absolutely fantastic story that has happened here to Shirley Muldowney.
I'm sure Dick LaHaye is concerned right now, too, because I'm sure he thought he was going to get a bye run here, but Shirley's back and ready to go.
And they're off the line, and it's Dick LaHaye, and Shirley now goes up with a little bit of smoke. She's going to try and give it a second effort to no avail, and Shirley again has exploded the supercharger on the automobile. She's okay, brings the car down very slowly, keeps it in her lane, and Dick LaHaye has won the round.
LaHaye with a 561, 249, and another costly run for Shirley.
To drive through some shrapnel out there?
No, in fact, I never seen her, to be truthful with you. It just got awful loose and struck the tires and got over by the guardrail or the retaining wall. But other than that, you know, just a good run.
And a 561, that'll give you lane choice over Darrell Gwynn.
Maybe we can win this thing. Let's sure hope so.
Okay.
Shapes up to be a great final here this afternoon between Dick LaHaye and Darrell Gwynn. 45,000 spectators on hand. And right now, let's go back to Steve Evans with Shirley Muldowney.
Well, Shirley, there's not much that I can say that would console you looking at all of that kind of damage. But on behalf of the fans and all of our viewers, thanks so much for the effort you and your team put into today.
Thank you, Steve. We tried.
And I'm sure that Shirley has found great fans here at San Air Dragway. Right now, let's go for a little tour with Steve Evans.
First thing you'll notice when driving in Quebec, the road signs are all in French. So you've got to get your suds and your us and your s and your nords all figured out. Now, I can tell you that SEST, that's east. You're on your own for the rest of them. But even if you get lost trying to find the village of St. P, I don't think you'll mind. The countryside is so beautiful. The one thing, though, don't worry about eating, because every restaurant I visited knew exactly what I wanted. After all, Big Mac is part of the international language. But once you get to Sanair, believe it or not, you'll find some healthy food.
And there you're looking exactly at what Steve Evans was talking about, one of those fruit stands here.
You don't see those back home, that's for sure.
All right, we are ready to go racing. The finals are on the line. It is Daryl Gwynn out of Miami, Florida, taking on Dick LaHaye from Lansing, Michigan.
It's going to be a close race, Jan. Both ETs have fallen off somewhat. The track conditions have changed. It'll be close.
Dick LaHaye has chosen lane number 1. He is ready to go. Gwynn in lane number 2, I'm sure, has hopped up the car. We'll see what happens now as both cars are staged and ready to go. This is the final. LaHaye seems to have gotten out just a little bit quicker, but here comes Gwynn. Gwynn on the high side is going to win the race, but just by fractions. So Daryl Gwynn with an ET of 5.55 and a speed of 251.81 miles per hour has won the Molson Grandnational here in Quebec, Canada, and he is a happy young man. We'll be right back. The Molson Grandnational is now history, and here's its winner, Daryl Gwynn.
Did you know you won?
Yeah, it looked like we won. It must have been 2 feet, I swear.
Excellent job, you and your whole family.
Thank you very much.
And certainly we want to add our congratulations to the young Daryl Gwynn.
He's been consistent all year, and consistency paid off for him here today, that's for sure.
I'm Jan Gabriel. We're coming to you from Canada. Along with Steve Evans and Dan Pastorini, we want to thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Superchargers.